the fact that, you know what, like, and I can bring it up earlier, like, this, like, I got canceled escrows, I'm falling through, and you have an expectation. One day I was doing Legacy Real Estate Group. So that was in 2003.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Oscar Andrade. This is The Shift, where I go over business, fitness, and travel. So today, like I said, I have special guest Gabriel Bolanos here with me. Gabriel, I know Gabriel because I worked with him here at the Legacy team, with the Legacy team. And you know, I kind of want to know Gabriel's story in reality. I kind of want to hear where he came from, how the whole Legacy team started, and what's so different with his team as opposed to other teams, and you know, just get the nitty gritty, right?
Nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Bro,
So
am I your
Gabriel.
first, second down? Thank you, man. Thanks for having me again. Am I your first, second time guest, or?
Your first, second time? Yeah, you are my first, second time. So if you guys haven't heard the How to Take a Punch, man, you guys need to go back and listen to How to Take a Punch.
I've taken up.
We both taken punches,
taken
right?
sure.
That was a bad week for me, man.
Yeah.
That was a bad. That was my way of releasing that
Yeah.
bad week, dude. But it was good, man. It was some good golden nuggets right there. Definitely good lesson learned.
A lot to work with. That's what the punches, right? That's what the. I mean, you guys can go watch it, but that's what it was about. That we take the punches and how you look at them that makes a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? What happened after that was I actually got another escrow in right after.
There you go. Sometimes you just need to release, bro. Like you're feeling it. You talk to somebody, release. We talk about it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I to kind of segue to the whole team, but that's one of the difference is
sure.
that in the environment that we do our best to promote and create in the office is that of. That is just holistic, where you come as you are, whether you're happy, elated, upset, sad, but
sure.
coming on in and working with that, using that as a way to kind of level up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I could definitely level up on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough of that. You guys need to check out that show,
Yeah.
How to Take a Punch. Check it out on The Shift. So let's get to it. Just really quick, Gabriel, for everyone to know who you are. Let's start with the beginning.
Yeah.
Back in the past, who's Gabriel as a kid? Who's Gabriel as a kid?
Oh, you're gonna go way back then.
I want to go way back then. A little kid.
So wow. So
Where'd you grow up at?
Born in LA, East LA.
Okay.
The first part of my life was in LA. Slowly made my way east. My family made their way east. At Bell, and then from Bell went to Downey. Most of my teens was in Downey. I actually graduated from Downey High.
Oh really? Around
Yeah.
Firestone?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So Downey from Downey High.
How were you? Were you a good kid, like as far as like grades and all that, or?
Yeah, I was a good kid. I mean, we got into, I think, how would you put it, into some trouble, but it was kind of innocent trouble, if you will,
Okay.
you know, with the friends. Ran track, cross country, played soccer, you know, like
Okay,
typical
cool.
Hispanic, you know, growing up with yeah, exactly, with a bunch of friends. We weren't, my family, we weren't crazy poor, right?
Okay.
But we also weren't crazy well off.
Okay.
You know,
Lower middle class?
Yeah, lower middle class for sure.
Okay.
But learned a lot because of it. And I bring that up because during high school, I knew in my heart that if I wanted to go to college, which we thought that was the next step, it was going to come out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
And at that time, and again, I tend to do things on my own. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but never did I look into any grants or scholarships or anything like that. So in my mind, it's like if I was
Was it
to go to
because you
college,
didn't know about it?
I didn't know about it.
Cool.
And being first generation Mexican American,
Okay.
my parents did the best that they could with what they had. I mean, they didn't know
No,
kind of
sure.
point me in the right direction. And I was very closed off as far as talking to counselors or any people. I don't know why, but that's kind of how I was during my high school years.
I think that's just like the culture in Hispanic community itself. Like I never asked any questions. I think
Yeah.
it's just too prideful in a way where it's like I'll figure it out
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think there's a little bit of that, and also the fact that we just like. I grew up really respecting authority, and yeah, I just, it sounds bad, but kind of, to authority I spoke when spoken to kind of thing, and I kept to myself and didn't want to cause any waves and that kind of thing. And I was more of a introvert. I mean, I think I still am I tend to be more introverted than extroverted. But during high school, I not hooked up, but I would say the same friends. a buddy of mine, two buddies of mine, we decided we're gonna sign up to the Air Force.
Okay.
So we said, okay. So after high school, we're gonna go to the Air Force.
Okay.
All three of us signed up, went through recruiting office, signed up the Air Force, went through MEPS, and I got disqualified because I had a hernia.
No way.
Yeah. So I couldn't move forward. I remember I was so bummed because we kicked ass in the ASVAB and made it that far.
Gotcha.
Went to MEPS, and during the physical examination, they found a hernia, and I knew I had something. I just didn't know what it was. Again, I didn't speak up. I didn't speak out. I'm like, it's tolerable. I'm fine. Yeah. But so I got disqualified from moving forward and going into the Air Force.
Wow.
And I remember sitting there super bummed out because both of my friends made it through.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be left out.
Yeah.
And I remember one of an officer, she says to me, hey, don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. Get it fixed and come on back. It's just the United States doesn't want to pay for your surgery.
For sure.
Had we found this after you're in, then they'd have paid for it, but they just don't want to pay for it. So get it fixed and come back.
Okay.
At the time, I thought that I was gonna go get it fixed and come back.
Okay.
Well, that didn't happen. I ended up going to community college, again knowing that I was gonna pay in my mind myself.
Yeah.
So I went to Cerritos College.
Okay, Cerritos. So, right there by Norwalk. Right?
In Norwalk, in Alondra.
Okay, cool. Alondra,
yeah. So I went to Cerritos College. It was there a little longer than I thought I was gonna be because I was also working at the time part-time with CompUSA, way back then.
What the heck is CompUSA?
It's like, how can I put it, like a...
I don't think it's still around.
No, they that's a part of the story too. No, they closed down in 07.
Oh, for the crash.
In 07, yeah. And in 2007, it closed down. But I was with CompUSA back then. My thought was that I was going to go to community college, get my AA, transfer to a 4-year, do my last 2 years, and pursue criminal justice. I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to work for the sheriff's department, believe it or not. So I did that. Actually, got my AA in criminal justice and in general my general ed in Cerritos, and went to Long Beach.
Okay.
So finished off in Long Beach. I was in the 7-year plan. It took me a minute.
Okay.
But
I think we're both in the 7-year plan.
And the reason for it too is because I was working part-time, going to school full-time.
Yeah.
And then eventually became working full-time, going to school full-time.
I gotcha.
And then later it switched over going to work full-time plus school part-time. Just because you start making a little bit of money, I had never really made money before.
Gotcha.
During high school I did. I worked, actually my very first job was KFC. So I worked for KFC for a while. Yeah, man. And I remember that was the first time I experienced falling asleep at the wheel.
Oh shoot.
Like parked at the red light.
Just working so much, right?
Yeah, man, because I was doing track cross country, so I wake up early, train, come home, get ready for school, go to school.
Okay.
And then after school, train.
Okay.
Train, and then go home, get ready for work, go to work, come home, do homework, whatever I had to do, and do it all over again. So a little bit of that, a few days of that, a few weeks of that, and it would catch up,
Yeah.
But I remember that was the first time that I made my own money. I remember my very first paycheck, and I'm gonna date myself, but I don't even know. Actually, before your time, the very first thing that I bought with my paycheck was a pair of Nike Mohawks. Look it up, bro. Yeah, Nike Mohawks. They were weird looking shoes, but that's the reason I like them, because I'm like, people are gonna see like, what are those?
Leave a comment if you guys have some Nike Mohawks.
Nike Mohawks back in the day, because up to that point it was either hand-me-downs or PWs, kind of the Pro Wings from Payless. That's the shoes that I used to sport. But then you fast forward now to college and being in CompUSA, graduating. And at that point, my girlfriend at the time says to me, she's like, man, you're making pretty good money. Do you still want to pursue this whole sheriff's thing? Because I was going through background and everything. And kind of knowing that we were going to get married.
Gotcha.
I thought, you know what, maybe she's right. Maybe I'll put it on pause. I put that whole background on pause and just continue working at CompUSA. So this is back in 97, bro, 96, 97. So I stopped that. I kept, I was at CompUSA. I kind of grew through the ranks. I remember at that time, my store manager, at the time I would see him, and it's completely different time. That's the way retail is now. But back then, I remember seeing my manager. He'd come in the morning with a cup of coffee. He'd walk his floor, take notes of what needed to be done and just assign stuff to people. And then he'd just go in his office, chilling. I remember thinking, I'm like, man, I could do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
So you think, right?
Oh yeah. So that was in my mind. You know what? I'm gonna move up the ranks. I want to be a store manager, and then go to the district level. That's what I'm gonna do. So I started off in the back, as a box boy.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that loss prevention guy at the time gave me some advice that I took literal, which, by the way, is friends with Tim Galley.
No way.
Yes, crazy. So back then he tells me. He made a comment to me, but the advice came from my store manager. I'm sorry. He says to me, he's like, Gabriel, he said, just know that you should always dress for the job you want. He said the job you want, not the job you had.
Gotcha.
I took it literal. So I'm in the back, box boy, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start dressing super clean. So we wear jeans and a t-shirt, but always tucked in. My belt always matched my shoes. Always like pressed and ironed. When other box boy would come in, I'll call sloppy and shorts and stuff. I never did. And the loss prevention guy told me, he's like, man, you're probably the best dressed, receiver back here. And that in my mind, I was like, dude, that's such a compliment. Not ego, but more so like, okay, they're seeing me a little different.
Noticing that.
Yeah. So long story short, I went from there, went to the floor, started doing sales, went to middle management, then assistant management. That's when I actually came to Rancho Cucamonga. This was already now years in. I worked at the regional level with the district manager or the regional manager. And then in 2004, they opened up a store in Rancho Cucamonga, which is Total Wine right now. That used to be a CompUSA.
Total Wine. Oh, that was CompUSA, right?
That's the reason why I moved to Rancho Cucamonga.
I need to go to Total Wine.
Total Wine, yeah. So at that time, married already.
Got you.
I got married in 2002. This is 2004 now.
Okay.
What's crazy is that at the time, we had set goals for ourselves that
You and
no, this is pre-Myra.
Oh, pre-Myra.
Yeah, this is way back. He took me way back. So yeah. So we said, okay, we're gonna live in this apartment for 2 years, and then after these 2 years, we're gonna move. We're gonna buy our own home and move. So we did that, and everything was happening like clockwork, bro. It was like every plan was like check. 2004 was 2 years almost to the day from us being in the apartment where I lived in Santa Fe Springs, and then we bought over here in Rancho Cucamonga because the stuff came over here. So we said we would go over there. This was 2004. Myrna is the name of my first wife, and she's always we knew she always had a bit of a heart problem, like a murmur, right? But we never, we go to the doctor says everything's fine, you're gonna be fine, it's just certain things, so you wanna believe it, they're freaking doctors. So we came up here, and I don't know if it was the elevation or anything, but she kind of took a turn for the worse, and this was, we moved over here October 2004, she got ill December 2004.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and went in and out of the doctors from December. In January 26th of 2005, I still remember this when she collapsed, she fainted because the medication they had given her sped up her heart rate too high.
Oh, wow.
She actually fainted. They called me from work. I rushed home, take her to the hospital here, San Antonio, in Upland.
That's where I was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I was born.
In that hospital there. And long story short, they basically released us today. There's nothing we could do for you. You should, kind of like prepare kind of for the worst kind of thing, because she got diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension.
Oh wow.
So that's when the battle began between myself, our primary physician, and a specialist, because it was HMO. So we stayed in the whole other story, how to stay in the network, all that stuff. So in March 20th of 2005, she actually passes away.
Oh.
She passed away.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, no. I appreciate you saying that, but it's a big reason of why I do what I do now.
Gotcha.
They say that there's certain things that happen in our lives that kind of like shake us up, and for you to really get aligned for what your purpose is, whether it's a death, whether it's something tragic when you get sick and you come out of it, or somebody close to you, or something traumatic happens that when you really kind of slaps you into kind of like what your purpose is. And I remembered making a intentional and literal decision that, you know what, at this point, like what, because I thought I was done, you know? So I said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and just help others accomplish what they want to accomplish. As silly as romanticization, or whatever, if that's a word that sounds, romanticizing
we'll make it a word today.
Yeah, make it a word today. That's what I said to myself. That's what I said. So I went back to the store before April was done. I went back to work. I remember my boss at the time, which is an absolute gentleman. He's like, man, are you gonna come back? Don't you want to take some time? I said, no, what the hell am I gonna do at home?
Yeah.
You know? But throughout the whole process, I stopped working from January 26th until she passed, until that April. And what he says to me, he's like, as far as I'm concerned, you are a store manager. They probably aware of this term, like a bench store manager. So you're a store manager. Yeah. You're getting paid the same. Nothing changes. That's it. So he took care of me so much that way, that when what happened. Fast forward, I say, hey man, whatever you need from me, I'm there.
Yeah, for sure.
So CompuSA had a lot of stores at the time, at least locally. So I got sent to, oh my God, it's somewhere Orange County. I'm losing the store, but it was far, bro. It was so far. Yeah. Where was it? It'll come to me. But anyway, one day he came to visit, like, man, you're driving way too much, I'm gonna switch you. Then he switched me to Montclair, and from Montclair, I went to City of Industry, which now is Forever 21. That used to be a CompuSA.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that was, I ran that store for a while, and what it ended up being is me fixing red stores.
What's red store?
Red store at the time was high shrink, low sales, or maybe turnover was a little high, and they needed some sort of help. So that's what I started doing, and I really started connecting with people and seeing that you can never manage people. You manage process and system. You inspire people. Like, that's the goal. So a lot of people say, I'm a manager. I never like that term manager because I don't manage people. Yeah. I just relate and do my best to understand and listen and inspire. Processes, 100%. You manage process and system.
Sure.
So that's something
you have control over, right?
Yeah, that's what you have control over. So I know I'm making this a little long-winded. So time continues. You know, I go from City of Industry back to, actually I get sent to Murrieta, and that's where I meet Myra. This is years later.
Oh wow.
This is already in 06, end of 06, 07.
Okay.
That's where I met her. We didn't date or anything really, but that's where I met Myra. For you guys out there, that's my current wife.
Gotcha.
So once they closed the store down in 07, that was a huge thing for me as well, because honestly, I was so comfortable there because I was a subject matter expert, because I had been there 10 years practically. Yeah. That honestly, had it not closed, I'd still be there. Yeah. Because I was just moving up the ranks, kind of thing.
So when it did close, like, how did that like affect you emotionally? Did you feel like, dang, this is like life going bad again, or what was it?
Yeah, the opposite actually. It was after, and this is gonna sound very maybe morbid. Okay. But after Myrna's death, my mentality was, there's nothing else I can go through that hurt me as much as this.
Yeah, for sure.
So this ain't no thing. That's honestly what I thought. My concern was the people, because there were some people that I've been there 10 years. There's some people that really had tenure that this was their only job. So you're closing down the store. So man, they were just tore up, crying. What are we gonna do? That kind of thing. I remember with the announcement when we were in a conference call, and they told us that they were gonna close. They had closed some stores down, and then I figured that as long as you were profitable, that they were gonna leave us open. Yeah. So we were profitable. Like I was blessed to have some just good people, and we were kicking butt. And what ended up happening is they made a decision to just close all the stores down. When they announced it in a conference call, they basically said, you know what, let your people know at the end of the day, kind of thing, at the end of the shift, man. And I'm in an office as a winner. I'm looking out. They're like, your team members like kicking ass, walking around working. And man, that weighed heavy on me, more so on them. Sure. Man. So what I did is I called my managers and I let them know first. I said, look, that's what happened. One of them broke down. She's like, I told her, I remember, now I forgot her, Joanne maybe, I think it was her name. But anyway, she breaks down. And I said, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine, don't worry. Yeah. We're just gonna move forward, and we're gonna follow that process that we have with the liquidator, because the liquidator's gonna come in, and we're just gonna be fine. So don't worry, you guys will find better careers, better gigs, whatever. She says, you don't understand, this was my very first interview, my very first job, like 15, 16 years ago. Oh, wow. So it was crazy to me, like that simple thing about interviewing. People didn't necessarily know how to interview, how to bring yourself, or how to really present yourself in a 5-10 minute conversation with somebody to inspire them to hire you. So it was a big deal. So what I told them is that, look, they asked us to wait till the end of the day to let everybody know. So what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna lock the doors, ring out all the customers that are in here, let them out, and then we're gonna talk to everybody. So I did that out of respect for everybody. So a lot of the people were like, oh my God, what are you gonna do now? And at that point in my mind, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what the name on the outside the store is. It's about us, and we're just gonna do the best that we can to continue working and giving them hours, if you will. So it was so funny because I would move things around from.
Oh, for sure.
Just give assignments to keep people busy.
Yeah.
You know, and then what we did is the management, we created flyers and stuff and presented it to other businesses locally. I went to other businesses locally and said, hey, listen, we're closing down. I have amazing team members. I'll vouch for them if you're looking to hire.
Wow,
so I helped people get some jobs, including Myra. I got her a job at Party City, whatever it was. I helped her with that, give her that connection among other team members.
Gotcha.
Because again, it was about the people.
For sure.
Going back to Myrna's death, that's in my mind, it was about the people. The reason for the t-shirt, because people matter. It's about the people. So you fast forward after that, I ended up going to La Curacao for a little bit.
Okay.
Did not like it at all.
Yeah.
And what's gonna sound crazy, it's because they were not about the people. They would exploit our people. Not only the workers that didn't necessarily have papers, that shouldn't be working, so they knew they had nowhere else to go, so they would overwork them.
Oh, for sure.
But also the customer that would come in with the credit card, it was just ugly.
Oh.
I didn't like it, so I bounced. And then went to Toys R Us. And then that was in 08 probably, I think it was. But my best summer actually was 07 up to that point. I didn't work. I've always been pretty good with my money, so I did nothing but work on myself and go back to running. I'd stopped running, so started running. So I've gotten in really good shape, you know. So it was just a really good summer. But anyway, then I started at Toys R Us. Time progressed a couple of years into it because I ran the Monrovia store. That's where I met Rick.
Oh, okay.
Rick used to be my assistant manager at Monrovia.
All the way in Monrovia.
All the way in Monrovia, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, what's crazy, and I'll tell him, he's like, nah, bro, it's not true. I said, you didn't like me when you first met me. I told him. He's like, nah, that's not that I didn't like you, but he got skipped over, that's why.
Oh,
so this is little short Mexican compared to this tall, just like imposing white guy, and they give me the store over him. But dude, we became just an amazing team. Like that store kicked ass.
Yeah.
I then got promoted a few years later. I went from store to store, training
doing the
stores. Training on new processes and procedures.
Okay, gotcha.
I then get promoted to Redland store, which is super side by side. Kind of fast forwarding here. This was years later, and then when I was running that store, that's Myra walks in because she was going to Cal State San Bernardino.
Oh, okay.
And that's when we kind of met again. And that's when we started talking.
So I'm telling you guys crossed paths before you guys finally started going out.
That was the third time.
That's funny. That's exactly. I know I was gonna hate this, but same thing with me and my wife.
Yeah.
We had to see each other 3 times before we started going out.
It's crazy, man. And just stuff started being aligned for sure. So I won't make it too much longer, but then after a while, there was a lot of changes going on, and then when I decided to make the move from retail over to real estate, it wasn't even to real estate actually. I just wanted out of retail, more so the scheduling. Truth be known, I was looking for a third-party logistics company where like a cross-dock, where I could work the early shift and be done, because at that point now I'm married again, and then have Elias, my first son, and things were working. But I started making the same mistake where I was spending more time at work than at home.
Oh, gotcha.
So that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not making that same mistake twice. So I gotta do something. So
something like hit you, just like, hey, you're going down the same rabbit hole that you did before or whatever.
Exactly. We'll get another opportunity to run it back, you know.
Yeah.
So ended up bouncing. Myra was actually the one that reminded me and said, like, hey, didn't Myrna tell you that you'd be good at real estate back in the day? Maybe you should do that. Yeah, you know what, maybe we should. So her and I went to the classes together, and then that's when we got our real estate license.
Cool.
2011, because my first year of real estate was 2012.
That was your first official year?
First official year. And I'll tell you what, when I first joined real estate, in my mind, I knew I was gonna have a team. I wanted a team.
Yeah.
Because I wanted that interaction with people. I enjoyed it so much from that, and that's the whole reason why the whole reason now with the coaching outside of the office and the I don't even like saying coaching, the mentoring, kind of like just sharing your life to people and kind of mentoring them through things. But in 2013, that's when I incorporated Legacy Real Estate Group.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was against the advice of my broker at the time, because he wanted me, or he believed that you should market yourself. And I understand that concept, you market yourself in real estate, but I wanted to build something that was bigger than myself.
You saw something bigger already, where it's like, hey, I can market myself, but then it's gonna then I had to remarket this bigger group you had this vision already, right?
Right. So out there somewhere, I mean, my first corporation was Dreams to Reality, or is Dreams to Reality, which now I use it differently, but Dreams to Reality. And then under that, it was the Bolanos group.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's what I was advised to do. But I'm sitting with Francisco. At that point, I already know Francisco. I met Francisco and I would share with him. I said, bro, I don't know about this like main team thing. How everybody's doing that. And I said, how do you really? I think it's gonna be better or more inspiring or impactful to people if the name means something more than just my name. I'm proud of my name. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
I said, but I didn't choose it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it was given to me and I'm proud of it. But I want something that I select and I choose because it means something. So went back and forth with my partner at the time and we didn't know what we were gonna name it. And one day I was reading, and it just dawned on me, Legacy. I said, Legacy. I said, I like that, Legacy. So I called my buddy up and I said, hey, listen, what about Legacy? Man, I like it. What Legacy Real Estate. Legacy Real Estate Group. So that was in 2013. I opened another corporation, Legacy Homes Group, DBA Legacy Real Estate Group. And that's how it's 2013. And that was when I was with one brokerage. I left that brokerage because I was limited in growing my team because they were very hard on marketing a team, let alone a name, but a team.
Yeah.
Because they wanted you to market the brokerage, which understandably so. I understand
for sure. That's
so
his team, I guess, right? So, all right.
So I ended up leaving there, and it was myself, Rick, Patricia. Patricia was a client of mine.
Oh,
now
okay.
she's an agent here, which
That's funny.
kicks butt. And Patricia.
Yeah.
Myra was my TC, and Natalie was my admin.
Okay.
So that was a team that we came.
So that
over
was
to.
the original Legacy.
That was the original Legacy. And so then from when we went to the different brokerage, at that point, that's when I met, actually Melinda ended up joining, another team ended up joining. Melinda ended up leaving, now she's back, but then that's when I met Erica.
Okay.
And when I met Erica, I was like, man, this girl's energy, this like, just like her spirit, her heart, I'm like, dude, she needs to be on the team. And she was at a different team at the time, so I didn't approach it. But then she ended up leaving.
People from the team, man.
Yeah, I know, right? So she ended up leaving and then ends up joining. And dude, from there, obviously, we moved offices and then finally came here. That's when we hooked up. When we came here, we hooked up with Sal, and the rest is history, as they say. That's what's going on.
For sure. Yeah. I think you just have like a way of just like drawing people. You know what I mean? You kind of drew me into the Legacy family, as you would say.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like now, you know, we're going through the interview and obviously we didn't talk about this interview before we did this. Right?
No,
we're kind of just like, hey, let's just do it. I have this concept, let's do it. I want to know who you are, And in reality, I wanted to know your background because I never knew it.
Yeah.
I didn't know the other wife, and I didn't know about, you know, the things that you went through. And now it kind of explains a lot of things to me. Of like, I'm like, should I stay with this team? I don't know. And I was talking to my wife, and I said, you know what, my gut said I should stay with this team. Yeah. And there's something about you. I think you're just so selfless. You know what I mean? You really develop everybody. You know what I mean? And it's just like I'm just like, okay, cool, but like, what does he want from me? Like, what do I? Is there a cost? And it's like, you know, your cost is literally just your time and your dedication. Just like, hey, look, if, you know, you're coaching us, at least be honest about it and be like, hey, look, if you know, we do our metrics and all that. Be honest about that. Because it's like, hey, you could totally tell, like, oh yeah, I did 10 contacts every day, but you have like no escrows. It's like, okay, well then, did you really do these contacts? It's all a number game, right? It's all a numbers game. And so, it's crazy. So now hearing your story, I can kind of understand why you run the Legacy team the way you do, as far as training. I don't want to get too much into it. I want you kind of explain how the Legacy team is different amongst other teams and what is it that you do. Like, what's your coaching style for people that are not on your team?
I think, and it's going back to that, obviously we're all a product of yes, who we are, but our experiences and how we take them, right?
Sure.
So for me, I value relationships a lot, like more than anything.
Yeah.
And to the point that sometimes I've made bad business decisions because of it, or arguably what people may perceive as bad business decisions, because I feel that the relationship is more valuable than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's essentially how I run the business, as far as what is the best for our agents.
Okay.
The meetings that we have with the staff is all about how can we continue to grow, change, develop, stop doing, start doing, continue doing, whatever it is for the benefit of the agent, how we can help them grow.
Okay.
And you say like, what's the kind of the payback, that kind of thing. Yes, you can talk splits and all that stuff, but more so than that is the again, I romanticize stuff. Just the fact to be able to know in my gut, in my heart that just to know in my heart, my gut, that I have something to do with your success, that I can be of service and help you create what you want to create, whatever that is. That to me pays dividends. The other thing is because I really believe that a true investor, it's an investor in people. Like when you talk about in the industry, like, oh yeah, I'm an investor, you'll think like, okay, it's buy and flip or buy and hold. To me, I think the best investment is people, because you find somebody that believes in something wholeheartedly, that just believes it, like you do, and you invest time and effort, and eventually maybe even money with this person. Your money is the best. It's the safest and the best. That's the best investment you can make.
Oh, for sure.
And somebody's dream belief that puts the hustle and the grit, and that has the grit to put in the hustle. If you know what I mean. So like with people joining, I don't base it just on production, what they've done in the past. Because the production, the closings, the money is a consequence of your activities.
Oh, for sure.
For example, there's a lot of brokerages that when I first started wouldn't have taken me. Because I had zero production. They would say, well, you know what? No, we don't have time like that. So they wouldn't have taken me in. So I'm not saying I'm anything special, but I knew in my heart back then that I had the grit, that I was gonna put in the work. Like regardless, to this day, like I am not afraid of hustling. I just want to make sure that I hustle at a different capacity, that there's that progression, right? So I think it's that instilling that type of energy into the office and in the agents. And you said something that means a lot too, that like for me, it's growth organically. Because when you do it organically, you end up attracting people that are heart-centered and driven to what they want to create, as opposed to the classic recruiting over the phone, and you bring people in that not necessarily align based solely on their production, but who knows what their vision is, what their mentality is, and I don't want anything to come in here and disturb the energy.
For sure.
So now with you guys, as it just starts multiplying, I think that's what we're seeing. Like you attract one agent, so now you got two agents attracting two more. Now 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. For sure. And 16 becomes 32. So it's because it's your guys is attracting that agent. So, definitely. And obviously there's like if you're asking what the differences are, there's practical stuff that's different. I don't think there's anybody out there right now that does the one-on-one coaching and developing the way that we do here. There is because it's a lot of time invested in your people. Like, but not only am I okay with it, I enjoy it. Like, the premise now and what I'm doing is I'm gonna get to a point where that's all I'm doing. Where I'm not, and it's slowly happening. Where my production doesn't have to be there. It's more so production of my circle, my sphere, but my time I want to invest in the people. So that's number one. And obviously the practical is that every training that we have, we do our best to provide value, and we make ourselves accessible to all the agents whenever possible. And again, all the tools that we have on the practical side.
For sure. Like I know you've been there every time I've asked, like, hey Gabriel, can you go to the listing appointment with me? Or hey Gabriel, like I got this buyer, I don't know. For sure, you're like, if I can make it, or you'll like move things around in your own schedule and so that. Now I finally feel like I'm comfortable enough where I can start doing anything on myself.
You got
this. I know what's gonna happen. I know what we have to do. This is these are the numbers.
For sure.
All this language isn't so foreign to me. Like the net sheet. I'm always gonna hold that over Erica. The net sheet. She's like, you have your net sheet. I'm like. She's like, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, no, don't have any idea. And you know what? It's funny because you say when you first started, a lot of brokers probably wanted to take you because you had no production. And when I first started, I actually started with another broker. And he took me in. He saw like, hey, this kid's gonna hustle. This kid can do something. But like, I obviously have a full-time job, and it's just like it's a lot harder, obviously. And you know, he kind of, we parted ways, but in reality, well, but like he's still kind of trained in a way, door knocking.
Yeah.
Like he's like all door knock, boom, door knock, door knock, door knock, and I know it works.
Yeah.
Because he would just like kill it in one whole area, but I just like. I would door knock and door knock and door knock, and I just got, it was so numb to me. I go door knock right now.
Yeah.
Just like cold calling.
Yeah.
Like, I'll cold call anybody.
Yeah.
I got my door. I got like the door slammed in my face, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? But it just never clicked.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't that the door knocking doesn't work. It's just it doesn't work for me right now because I don't have that time. Right. And so when we parted ways, I came over, and then, you know, obviously I met, got with Sal.
Yeah.
Sal brought me over to he was like, hey, there's this coach. I'm like, okay, who is it? Like, okay, Gabriel and Erica. I'm like, okay, part of the legacy team. Like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but okay, cool. So I got with you, we did the whole one-on-one. I'm like, what's this one-on-one thing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have one-on-ones at work, and it's funny because I still have my corporate job and do one-on-ones and stuff. I mean, you're doing the same thing, but like in the real estate side. But I'm like, I got excited to go. I'm like, cool, we're gonna talk about my business because I wanna make some money and I wanna do some transactions. And you know, when we first started, it was super basic. Okay, what are you doing for marketing? How are you gonna generate leads? Like for me, a big win was like, I got a number, Gabe. Like, okay, cool, go follow up with them.
Yeah.
Like, follow up. Okay, cool. Hey, Gabe, I got another number. Hey, Gabe, I got another number. Okay, cool. And then, you know, we do the one-on-ones, and I kept like progressing. And then I know you remember I was frustrated right now.
Yeah,
like, hey, what's going on, dude? Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm just frustrated, dude. Like, I do all of this work and nothing's just like, I can't get a deal, dude. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I just, you know, I didn't tell you that, but I was getting quit.
Yeah.
It just wasn't happening, dude, you know?
I felt it.
And I was like, man, I think I can do this, man. I've already had my license for about 2 years now. Not one deal. I've been working my ass off, like, putting all this money into it. Because people don't realize, like, hey, well, you know, you get in real estate, you got to pay for your license, you got to pay for your MLS access or everything. You know what I mean? I'm a broker. I had a broker's fee every month, so I had to pay for that for an entire year. And just like, okay, cool. I'm paying all of this money out of my own pocket, and it's just costing me a lot. And time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Time away from my back then my girlfriend, now my wife. Not spending weekends with her because I'm trying to like don't know I could do all this other stuff. And then he told me, hey, dude, get a schedule down. And I think that was my shift, my turning point of like, okay, maybe it's because I don't have a schedule, right? Yeah. And so finally get the schedule down. I started getting numbers. You kind of gave me little key things on what to do, what to say. And I noticed myself saying that every time. Something so simple as like setting up an appointment. Yeah. It's just automatic now. I talk to somebody, it's just appointment. What do you do after that? Follow up. And it's just so like robotic now. Yeah. And then now you see my name on the board a lot more often than not now, you know. So
you're the rabbit.
I got more prospects too, man. I'm just putting myself out there. My wife is loving the fact that, you know, hey man, putting the time into it. So in a way, I kind of want to do this podcast too because I want to thank you for.
Of course.
I was gonna quit, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine if I would have quit, I wouldn't have gotten any of this stuff.
You know what? It's interesting. I thank you for saying that, man. It's an absolute pleasure. But I felt it that day. I remember it was over here. I remember walking by. I was like, hey, like I felt it. But that's exactly what we talk about. When we first meet an agent that I just joined, like this week, we're blessed that after today, there's 4 agents that new agents that are joining. But that's a conversation that that I have with the agent. That there's, because most of them will say, well, okay, well, what is required of me? What's the commitment? And then I say to them, there's 2 things that I want you to commit that you can say I require from our agents. Number 1 is wholehearted commitment to the business design or blueprint that we help you create, right? Because I don't tell the agents, you know, what to do unless you say like, man, tell me what to do, then I'll do it. I ask questions, so that way we design a business plan for each individual agent because we each have different giftedness, right? But so what I ask is just a wholehearted commitment to that. And second is complete transparency and openness, both ways.
Gotcha.
Because you'll get it from me and I expect it from the agent. Part of it is that, because usually when we create a business plan or create a goal or put a goal out there for ourselves, it's usually something we haven't done before. You know, because we're stretching, which is good. But because of that, that means that we're going to do things that we haven't done before, maybe, or more of the things, or the frequency of things that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to put us in positions we haven't been before. Which means they're going to put in emotions that we haven't felt before. So we're going to be feeling a certain way. And what I say is, when that happens, is when you need to speak with somebody and be open and be transparent in what you're feeling, because that's when most people pivot and bounce.
Oh, for sure.
Whether they leave an office, whether they leave the industry, is like, man, I'm not cut out for this, man. I'm putting all this work, I'm saying I want this, and I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing to get that, and it's not happening, I'm out.
Yeah.
And to me, I see that as the rite of passage. It's
For
God,
sure.
the universe, saying, okay, look, you are saying what you want. You're doing the things that you should be doing. But let's see, can you withstand and go through that stress and that anxiety? Because you know for a fact intellectually that as long as you keep doing that,
Yeah.
it's gonna break. You're gonna break through with some adjustments.
Oh, for
and
sure.
it could be as little as, dude, just make a schedule, and what we talked about, remember that conversation, make a schedule, and ask for the appointment, you're getting all these contacts, the next step, ask for that appointment, let's convert. But I remember that conversation,
Yeah, for sure.
and I commend you for that, because you opened up, and you're like, I remember you're like, man, I'm just fucking frustrated, man, like, dude, I'm doing all this and stuff, so we sat down, and let's break it down. That would not have, you thank me, but I thank you, because that would have not have happened had you not been open. If I would have walked by and I would have said to you, man, are you cool? I noticed you're a little frustrated. Are you okay? If you would have said, no, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm good. You would have walked out, have been done. As opposed
Yeah.
to, yeah, man, I'm just freaking frustrated, bro. Like, this is what's happening. And what did I say? Okay, bro, let's go talk about it. We came in here. We came in here and we broke it down.
Yeah.
And that's the difference that makes the difference. We all go through it. I've gone through it. And just know, I'll tell you right now, you will go through it again.
Oh, for sure.
100,
Yeah.
because we want to continue to progress.
Yeah.
There's got to be that progression, that leveling up, and that's the passage. That's the trail to that. You know.
Yeah, I think now it's just like when I see things are getting harder, I'm just like, I take that as a good thing right
Yeah.
now. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
crap, like, you know, like right now it's like first thing was like, how do I get my first deal? Boom, got my first deal, celebrating, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got 3 in the pipeline. Like, how do I find time to get these, like, everything that
Yeah.
I get done and get my work
Yeah,
done
yeah.
and still I got new leads coming
Yeah.
in. Like, how do I give them time? And I still have my full-time
Yeah.
responsibility, and I still want to, dedicate time to my wife. And I'm just like, okay, it's the whole different set of problems now.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
we've talked about it before too, because like even the scheduling, right? We always say that the scheduling, you start with the person. That's the most important.
For sure.
Because the reason we're doing what we're doing, whether it be in 9 to 5 or this, is because of our person, our family,
Mhm.
right? That's our who. So it behooves us to start with that in our schedule.
Mhm.
The other thing is the fact that you're now taking things, and when they happen, then you understand it's like, you know what, it's because I'm a level up. You know, I'm going through this, I'm learning from it, and
Yeah.
and you level
For
up.
sure.
And then obviously there's that progression, like you're saying. You make the contacts, and then you make the two leads to client to open escrows.
Yeah.
You know, and understanding that there's that progression and design, that the schedule, because of what you're doing, that it's by design that it's going to change and you're going to
Yeah.
continue, because everything that you're doing is to bring more business.
For sure.
So when you start bringing more business, your schedule's going to change, but then
Yeah.
that stress comes, and I like to call it perceived stress,
For sure.
because the beginning, like you said, at the beginning it was like, man, how do I get contacts? Oh my God, the anxiety. I got contacts. Well, how do I turn them into leads? Okay, now they're leads as far as, okay, I'm talking to them. Well, now I'm converting them to clients, right? Well, how do I convert to clients? And then how do I convert clients to appointments? Now appointments to listings or buyers. It's always like, It's like the
Yeah.
same perceived
Yeah.
stress.
Everything.
So what I like to say is like, look, you rather feel it with a pipeline
For sure, for sure.
than at the beginning.
Yeah.
But understand that that's going to continue, and eventually it won't be even looked at as stress. That's just part of the business.
Yeah.
And it's controllable in the way through a schedule.
Okay.
When you have a schedule, you'll be able to go through all of that and understand that we can't get so like stern on the schedule that we don't want it to shift, because it needs to shift. As a matter of fact, what I'll say, if you make a schedule and it hasn't shifted in a long time, and
Yeah.
in months, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
it should be
change it all together.
It should be changing
Change it
and
all
growing.
for sure, yeah.
You know, because later on it's going to be the stress. Okay, well, I need to hire somebody. Who do I hire? How do I interview for somebody specifically for real estate? What am I looking for? Who's this person like? What are they supposed to be doing? What's the schedule? Like, how do I pay them? That's a whole nother conversation.
For sure.
And that right there, to me, is what I enjoy. The designing from the beginning to continue to grow the designing and the strategizing of the business. Like what you say, like bringing a little bit of the W-2 into the 1099 world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pays dividends.
Yeah. Like I just finally, I took your advice. I did the LLC thing, and got my wife into it. She's like cool. She's totally for it. She's like super supportive. So I love her for that. And then now I'm like learning on like, okay, I got my real estate going on. Obviously, do I know how to create a pipeline? Yeah, I know how to create a pipeline. Okay, do I know how to get them through the thing? Yes, cool. All right, I know for sure I can get this business going. Yeah. Like now it's real. Yeah. Like I've seen a couple of commission checks. I'm like, this is some real stuff right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm actually, once I get this other buyer ready to roll and qualified, actually these 3 buyers actually that I got going. Once I get them through, I'll pretty much match what I'm making at work already. That's like beautiful. Year to date.
That's beautiful.
And I'm just like, wow, dude, you know? Mm-hmm. But now I'm thinking even like, okay, cool. I know for sure I can shift over, do this full time. Now I'm thinking, okay, what about investing? Yeah. So like I'm learning like how do I it's not just like now I'm thinking beyond just doing this full time. I'm thinking like, okay, what do I see myself 10 years from now? Right? But you see yourself 10 years from now, you need to make sure you have that foundation now, right?
So, absolutely, and like, because it's like everybody, you'll hear it in the industry. It's yes, you make money through real estate, but you build wealth through investment.
Exactly.
And that's the key to set yourself up for the future. And what we're doing, because the market's going to shift and it's going to change, and people will say like, well, is it a good? We'll get questions like that, right? Is it a good market? Well, the market is the market. It's what you do, whether or not it's good or not, and how you set yourself up.
For sure.
So right now, the goal for all of us that we have the conversation is just stay liquid. You know, as liquid as possible in anticipation, and just hustle. And like you've heard me say it, you're gonna get tired. And good. As a matter of fact, if you're not tired, then you're not doing enough. Like, you need to be tired, exhausted, and it's okay. That's what it's about. You gotta keep moving forward and keep doing it, and keep each day do a little more than yesterday. I used to say like keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna be fine. And now I like to say is just do a little bit more today than you did yesterday. Sure. You know, because that's you keep leveling up. That's the name of the game.
You keep shifting.
You know,
forward.
and to your point, you gotta look long term. 100%, and with a plan. Like we should have a plan and a design, but still be malleable to things that come up, because things comes up, and if we're too stern with the schedule or certain things, you'll break. You know, so
for sure. I think we all break at some point. That's when I'm like, all right, time for a weekend in Vegas or something like that.
For sure, absolutely, dude. And you know what's funny is like if ever anybody out there is like goes and does something and they feel, man, I feel bad, I should be working. If that's kind of the slight feeling, it's probably because the vacations or you are not just kind of leaf in the wind and going, because that's usually when we end up feeling that way, like, oh man, like I feel bad, I shouldn't be doing, I could be working. Well, no, I'm doing this because I planned it and I worked my butt off for this.
Sure. Yeah, it's crazy. My wife and I were just talking about that, like how like we don't really go out for like, you know, we did last Friday we went to the gym. Yeah, that was our date night. Yeah, our date night. Like, why are we gonna go to the bar? We spend money on like stupid stuff, whatever. Like, what? We save our money, and then we're gonna go on like these bigger trips. And like, when we go on these bigger trips, like,
man, you're doing good.
We'll drink, we'll freaking eat food. You know what I mean? I know we're really strict with our diet, but like, you know, when we're out, I'm like, hey, we planned for it though. We're like, hey, I plan to be a fat ass over here. That's right. But you know, I worked my ass off until then. You know. Before we go completely off subject, I did want to talk about something that actually kind of drew me into this team too, which was the how you associate with Prosperity Homes and stuff like that. So now I kind of understand your mentality of like, why would you? I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I love it. I just don't understand it. But now I know your backstory. Yeah. You want to talk about the
man. That's super. And that's another thing I'm super proud of. That. The not affiliation, but just the connection that we made with Prosperity Homes through Francisco and the Mortgage Phoenix, and it's been even that in itself has been a work in progress for Jeremiah and building it to what his vision is for it, and it's been a blessing being a part of it. That the contributions that we've made to Prosperity Homes. What Prosperity Homes is a company that builds resources and donations to go towards building homes for those in need.
Yeah.
Right now, it's in Mexico is where we've been going.
Okay.
And the reason for Mexico is honestly just logistically is so much easier. We can go
for
more
sure.
often. We can take people from the office or from their teams to go experience that.
Yeah.
Because writing a check, we can say which is awesome. You know, you write a check or you contribute is awesome. It helps. But really taking the time to go out there is such a blessing, not only to the people that are there and you get to see and experience how much they appreciate it, but dude, it's life-changing for those who go.
Yeah.
Because the third world problems go away.
Oh,
you know, the little things like whatever, the bad hair days, the dirty cars, what we're wearing, whatever, that goes out the window, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. Over there, you're just in service, and when you're in service like that, it's just a beautiful thing, man. And you come back, and it's kind of like a vacation, like a disconnect from the grind of the worldly things to go do that. So when we come back after a weekend of that, dude, it's just like I'm just so centered, like ready to go.
I feel like it totally humbles you. Right?
Oh, absolutely, it does. And again, I do believe also that each industry has a moral obligation to contribute and make a positive impact in the industry that are part of.
Yeah.
So we're in real estate, so we should help homelessness in a certain way. I think the restaurant business should help, hunger or fight hunger in a certain way. So different industry, I think there's a moral obligation to leave an imprint in that way. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So,
well,
good stuff.
awesome, Gabe, man. If people want to follow you, where can they reach you at?
So on Instagram, it's just Gabriel.e Bolanos on Instagram. Facebook, it's Gabriel E Bolanos, or Legacy Real Estate business page. And obviously, you want to connect. We're here in Rancho Cucamonga. We can connect there. And actually, I know we had a conversation of initiating a podcast.
For sure.
So that's something that I've been wanting to reignite. My partner or my soul brother Francisco and he had one, and I was joining them each week. So I want to bring that back and want to really feature our agents and what you guys are all about.
I think so. I think
all the partners and everything. And not only the good stuff. We opened escrow and just stuff like the canceled escrows and stuff. That's why I share what I share. Like the fact that I bring it up because I talked about it earlier. I've got canceled escrows. The escrows have fallen through and when you have an expectation of something's gonna happen and it doesn't happen, and the feelings that brings up in our industry, I think it's really important for all the agents out there that are actively working in our industry to hear that. Because you might be, I know all of you at one point or other have gone through it or will go through it, so why not talk about it? It's not all just sunshine and rainbows. Because you won't enjoy the rainbow without the rain, right?
Exactly.
So there you go. But yeah, man, thanks for doing this, man. I know we said 30 minutes. I think it's been like 45.
We're going on an hour.
An hour? All right, my bad.
No, because it's two of them, see? So it's all right.
Oh, shoot, okay.
People like a long podcast, man. It's all good.
Yeah, all
That's
right.
why I wanted to do it anyway. So actually, an hour. No, 1 minute. No, I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
So all right, cool. So you're gonna start that podcast?
Yes, I'm gonna start that podcast, and I'm hoping that it does well. And I really want to feature our agents. What they're about, what they're doing. That kind of thing. And just obviously myself, because there's not only personal production, but the mentoring of the agents and the coaching of the agents, and then doing the training and then doing coaching outside still.
Cool.
So just to share a little bit of that it may seem like a lot, but again, what I was saying earlier, still, I'm not afraid of the grind. I don't think I'll ever stop, as long as it's a different capacity. There's got to be that progression for sure.
Got you.
You want to share all that?
So if you guys want to tune into that, I'll hit the link in the bio to check out the new podcast that Gabriel's gonna be doing with the Legacy team. Also, if you guys want to be part of the Legacy team or interested in hearing about how you can be part of the Legacy team, man, reach out to Gabriel and I. I'll leave the info in the description. And if you guys want to be part of this bigger picture, I highly recommend you do. For everyone else, hey, I appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, man.
This is The Shift. This is the episode right here with Gabriel. And I really appreciate your time, guys.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
All right.
See you until the next one.
All right, to the next one. And always remember, shit forward, baby.
Reminder to hit the subscribe button today to watch more shows like this and other interviews. Hit the subscribe. I hope you enjoy the content. And always remember to shift forward.